On today's show, Dallas Mavericks get a win against the Brooklyn Nets. Cooper Flagg is already getting the superstar treatment in the NBA. Huge sign of things to come. Today's Locked On Mavs.
This is Cooper Flagg, and you're listening to Locked On Mavs.
Nick, that's a good question.
Good morning, Isaac. All these changes, I still got my dog, Dwight Powell.
Your daily Dallas Mavericks podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network.
Still killing.
Your team every day.
I'm going to get a city like that.
And welcome. You're locked on to the Dallas Mavericks, your team every day. My name is Nick Angstadt, media member covering the Mavs for over 10 years. Thanks for being every day or making Locked On Mavs your first listen, making the Locked On Podcast Network the #1 sports podcast network out there. Today's episode brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use that code Locked On NBA. You get $20 off your first purchase with Game Time. Joining me, as always, the post-game prodigy from the great Slightly Biased YouTube channel. What'd you see from the Dallas Mavericks tonight, Slightly Biased?
Just sad state of affairs. We don't let it ride. You asked before the game, before we started recording. Nick goes, "We don't have to let it ride, do we?"
Should I let it ride? Should I or should I not let it ride?
It's okay. It's all right. No, I mean, we said this after the last game. I was excited to see how Coop responded to what I thought was his worst game, all things considered, and it was a great response. I mean,
we'll talk about his stuff. We'll talk about his response. We'll talk about Naji Marshall and his fourth quarter. Incredible. We'll talk about Klay Thompson and some of the decisions Jason Kidd made in a game where the Mavs only had 8 healthy players on the roster and 3 two-way guys that all got some time. So we'll talk about all that. We'll break that all down. But let's start here. When last we saw the Dallas Mavericks, they played the Chicago Bulls. I thought they had no energy. I thought they had no fight. I thought they had nothing really good going for them in a game like that. And we were wondering, all right, how's Cooper Flagg going to back this up? How is he going to respond in a game like this? Because the Mavs don't really have a ton to play for record-wise, right? We're already talking about them tanking. They seem to be too far away from the play-in for it to be a real kind of fight for the Mavs to try and get up there. And even if they do, Anthony Davis is not expected to come back anytime soon. Kyrie Irving is not expected to come back at least for another month, if not more so for him. And so there's not really like a life raft in sight for this Dallas Mavericks team. But he comes out against the Brooklyn Nets, and yes, it is the Brooklyn Nets. Bottom 5 offensive team, bottom 5 defensive team, bottom 5 record team, of course. Sure.
Are they really still a bottom 5 defense?
Yeah, before the game, I think I had them as let's see, they were 27th. Yeah, this team is
kind of crazy because I think they were second in the entire month of December.
25th offense, 27th defense, according to Cleaning the Glass. Yeah, they were 7-4 in December. They were actually good in December. So think about how bad they are outside of December. But Cooper Flagg, 27 points, 5 boards, 5 assists, 3 steals, a block, hits 2 threes, including the one with 90 seconds left in the game. That was massive. He's 10 of 17 for the field overall. Hits just some awesome mid-range shots that you go, man, those are superstar-type shots. And in the second half, I thought he got superstar treatment from the Brooklyn Nets. Flagg, going into the halftime, had 17 points. Felt like he was sitting on 20 for a little while, and you're just like, all right, when is he going to get going again? When are we going to see Cooper the ball again? But the Nets were doubling him at half court. Anytime he got the ball or brought the ball up, they were giving him a double team treatment, at least on and off the whole second half. And I thought that was just so telling of, like, this is the one guy that can hurt us. This is the guy that is hurting us. And for them to treat him like that, I thought it was just so telling of where Cooper Flagg is right now, even just right now as a 19-year-old in the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, I think some of it was probably the Nets looking at the Mavs situation and realizing, if any of these other guys beat us, so be it. But also, I think some of it was Jordi Fernandez, who we've yet to see him coach a competent Nets roster, really. But I do think he has some psycho streak in him. And I think some of that was like, hey, we're probably going to lose this game anyway. Like, let's blitz this rookie and see if we can just make his life a nightmare for the next 24 minutes. And the fact that Do
you think he really looked at this team that starts Dwight Powell and Jaden Hardy and was like, I don't think we can win this game?
I think he probably felt the flow of the game and was like, we're not winning this game.
Maybe in the middle of the game, yeah. But I think from jump, I think they think that they would have a chance for sure. But yeah, the Mavs, I mean, their highest lead was 14. It's not like they were dominating this whole game, but they did hold the lead for pretty much all of the game.
Yeah, and I mean, Cooper's doing a good job getting downhill, so maybe they just wanted to cut that off. But, yeah, he did a fantastic job playing off those double teams, and you don't need to do too much. You don't need to throw. And he did have a couple of nice skip passes. There was one I can think of.
Yeah.
I think it was either early in the third quarter or late in the second quarter where he gets doubled, and he just patiently waits enough time That's one thing I've been impressed with when Coop does get doubled is he's good at, these retreat dribbles and stuff to keep his dribble alive and just buy a couple more seconds. It's kind of like a NFL playoffs, like a quarterback, like moving up in the pocket or something, like just giving himself a tiny bit more time to get these passing angles. And it was a skip to Jayden Hardy, who did miss a three, but it was a wide open three. So, those are the plays that you like to see. Yeah, no turnovers. And he was double teamed pretty much the entire second half. Like, that's really encouraging.
That and, man, that shot at 1:07 left in the second quarter, just that whole sequence where a double comes over to him and he tries to split the two defenders and jump between them and take a shot. He tries to foul bait, doesn't get the foul, hits the jumper anyway, down on the other end, and he gets screened and then leaves his man on purpose and then goes over a huge help block against Terrence Mann. Like, just an absolute two-way monster sequence where you look at that guy and you go, yeah, that's the future. Him hitting crazy shots, getting double team, hitting shots, making the right pass. On the other end, big defensive plays too.
Yeah. And I think, tonight, honestly, I don't think was one of his better defensive games. But I do think some of it, his defensive stuff is like, I think he's got to realize, and he will realize this in time. Obviously, he has great help instincts. He's a good athlete. He's got great size. So him being this just roaming free safety is something that I definitely think is in his future. Yeah. But I do think sometimes he kind of gambles and overhelps a little bit in an effort to make these plays where it's like, in college, right, when these guys are a little bit less skilled, you can recover easier, stuff like that. But in the NBA, right, less space. The NBA, these guys will punish a little bit. I think that's something he'll learn over time. But, that play right there just showcases when he's able to help off and all you got to do, it's like the LeBron thing in transition where it's like, just if you're defending a guy in transition, just stay in front long enough for me to get into the play.
Yeah.
And I will erase anything.
That's so true of him that we're going to wait for those moments to definitely happen. But I thought just that second half, that fourth quarter, even the end of the fourth quarter, he had that other play. 2 minutes left in the game. Mavs up by 7. Steal, throws the ball to Max Christie. Max Christie outlet pass to Flagg, who's streaking down the side. Huge dunk, huge scream. Felt like he needed to get that one out of him. Naji Marshall and Cooper Flagg both had these screams after buckets in the fourth quarter where you just felt like they needed that. Like, they personally, as a human, needed that one because the Mavs have had such a tough stretch.
Yeah, and these guys hate losing, man. Like, we can do all the tank stuff. This game actually perfectly kind of showcases why I had my tank take, where it's like, it's going to be hard to lose. Like, it's going to be hard to bottom out, really, compared to some of these other teams, at least until the trade deadline. Because there will be games where it's like Cooper is the best player on the court and Naji Marshall or like one of these other role guys kind of pops off. And I get it does make sense long term to get a high draft pick, but nobody on the court is going to be like, oh, I dunked it. Oh man, now we're up 8. We're like, oh, we're gonna be the 6th pick now.
The Mavs do sit. Daniel Gafford, though. P.J. Washington out for another week or so. Brandon Williams
Gaff had like 5 different injuries in the last game.
Yeah, Gaff out with the ankle. He was questionable, but now he missed this game. The Mavs were missing a whole bunch of guys, which is just par for the course at this point for this. But the Mavs that were out tonight, Kyrie, AD, Lively, P.J. Washington, Brandon Williams, like that is not a bad lineup if you just want to throw out a 5-man unit.
We said this all last year, literally that verbatim, that exact sentence.
This continues to be true still, even in 2026.
It does. That's not a bad group. We're leaving that in 2025.
Not a bad group. Will we ever see them together? I don't know. I talked to a couple Mavs fans that were still like, if we ever get them healthy, I'm like, all right, we'll see.
Will it be good for the Mavs to see them together? Will we see them together? Yeah, probably.
You still think so? You still holding out hope?
Well, I'm not holding out hope. I just don't think there's going to be a trade.
There is a scenario where we see AD and Kyrie play together at the end of the season.
Yeah. That could happen by the end of February, couldn't it? Like some of the AD
stuff. Out 6. He's out 6 weeks, and then Kyrie returns when he's supposed to. Yeah, we could be ramping up AD and Kyrie, and we'll see what happens.
I just don't think there's any way AD gets traded at this point.
I don't think so either. Coming up, let's talk about how the flow of this game, how the Mavs got this win. Let's talk about Naji Marshall. Incredible game from him. We'll give him some props coming up. Today's episode of Locked On Mavs brought to you by Game Time. During basketball season, there's nothing like being in the building, even when it's against teams like this, against the Brooklyn Nets. It's fun to be in the building, to see the things that Cooper Flagg does. The energy, the crowd, the first big run that gets everyone on their feet. Fans want to be there for those moments, not stuck refreshing screens or guessing what tickets are going to cost. You don't have to guess anymore with Game Time. You can go see exactly what you're going to pay at the time of checkout, which is great because I don't want to be surprised by fees. You can see exactly what your seat's going to look like. Mine looks like this. So you can go see exactly what your view is going to be. You also have zone deals that help unlock great seats at even better value. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use this code LOCKEDONNBA, LOCKEDON NBA for $20 off your first purchase. Download the Game Time app today and get in on the action with Game Time. Also brought to you by ZocDoc. Finding a doctor you actually like can feel like discovering a diamond in the rough. There's just so many different lists and things. You go through your insurance and you're like, all right, you try to use the search engine thing that they have there, and it always gives me doctors that like the numbers don't work and things like that. You also want to find a doctor that really listens to you, makes you feel comfortable, explains things clearly, helps you walk out feeling confident about your next step. Your diamond in the rough doctor exists. They're out there somewhere, and finding them is easy with ZocDoc. ZocDoc is a free app and website, helps you find and book high-quality in-network doctors so you can choose someone you truly connect with. You can check with the verified patient reviews to get a real sense of the doctor's vibe and communication style. They also have the real-time availability feature, means you can book instantly, no phone tag, which is what I hate, going back and forth to the doctor's office trying to figure out when you can actually book. If I needed to book care fast, this is the place to go. It makes the process super simple. Stop putting off doctor's appointments. Go to ZocDoc.com/LockedOnNBA, ZocDoc.com/LockedOnNBA, ZocDoc.com/LockedOnNBA. Thanks to ZocDoc for sponsoring this message.
Shut it down! Let's go home!
Thanks for hanging out with us on Locked On Mavs, being part of the show, part of the Raccoon Squad. That's what we call our listeners, listening every day, and when everyone yells at me at games, which is amazing. We've got the text line and the Everydayers Club. 2 ways you can subscribe to the show. Check the QR code. Links in the description. I'm here with Slightly Biased of Mavs broadcast shout-out fame. And we were talking about the Mavs win against the Brooklyn Nets. We talked about Cooper Flagg. We talked about just the superstar treatment he got. We talked about how great he was, I thought, in this game. Naji Marshall, almost equally as great in this one. 22 points, 12 points in that fourth quarter. He had 9 assists as well, 3 steals. Didn't hit a 3, but was hit 9 of 14 from the field. Hit all 4 of his free throws. Naji Marshall is just like one of those players that he keeps grinding away, and eventually he's going to figure out a way to score points against you. And he did, just driving in the lane, finishing. He's like, I'm going to keep trying to do my thing. Felt like in the first half he was trying that, and they had help at the rim, and then that help couldn't come because they were doubling Cooper Flagg, and he was like, I'm going to take advantage of this one-on-one matchup, and I'm going to go to the rim, and I'm going to score here.
Yeah, 18 of his 22 points in the second half. I mean, I did think, the first half just kind of like this stretch where it feels like some of his floaters just haven't been going down. In the first half, there's kind of a continuation of that. But yeah, second half, he was fantastic. Just a perfect guy. Like, Naji's skill set is just perfect, really, to be in the middle of the floor when a guy's getting double teamed because he is a good passer. I wouldn't call him like... he's not like a point guard, obviously, but I do think he can handle the ball. You're completely silent.
He played point guard tonight.
Yeah, no, he in these groups he kind of starts as the point guard, but it's more like he'll make the quick read and hit a guy versus I'm coming up the floor and I'm going to set up my guys. Yeah, this right. One, he's a great guy to have in the middle of the floor when someone gets double because he's got that just lethal floater. That he gets up over centers, he gets up over dudes who are 6'10" and contesting it. It really is kind of insane how he gets up that shot as frequently and as well as he does.
There's something about the rhythm of how he gets that floater off because he drives in the lane.
Herky-jerky.
He drives in the lane, but herky-jerky, while he's midair, he stops and then just, gets into the body of a player as he's jumping in the air and then somehow leans back and puts the shot up over. It's almost like he's playing pool basketball, like basketball in a pool, where you've got the hoop and you're just swimming against people and then you just get up in the air. You ever play basketball in the
pool? Basketball is basketball
in a pool, in the water.
Dude, I didn't. So I know pool basketball. I didn't know you played it in a pool though.
I don't know if it's called pool basketball.
No, I'm just trolling you because you're like pool basketball, which is basketball in a pool.
Well, you could think I don't know. Like a pool of players. I don't know what you can think of. But no. Anyway, it's like he's in water. It's like he's treading water midair. Is my whole point.
I get what you're saying. That's a good one.
Have you ever played pool basketball in a pool?
I have, yeah. I mean, but played until you would bleed. Your feet would bleed. I mean, who hasn't?
That's how his floater looks. Is he literally is floating up above the water. He's playing water polo, and the rest of them are playing basketball.
Yeah, I mean, he's able to contort his body kind of midair to sort of adjust to the contest too. It is impressive, man. He's been good.
He's been awesome. The passing too. He had his moment with 3.5 minutes left was a bucket in transition against Clowney, one of those ones we were talking about where he just gets in the body of even a center or a big guy like Clowney. Just screamed at the crowd, like just felt like he needed that because he's been going through it. He's been like the one guy that's been healthy through this entire stretch. Like this entire calendar year, we're about to hit the 1 year of the trade. And he's been the one guy that's been the constant in the Mavs lineup basically this entire time. And I feel like if anybody has gone through it, it's been Naji and then probably Klay, who we'll talk about here in a second.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny because if they are going to bottom out, right, I don't think Naji can be on the team, which is like
too
a sign of respect to him. You know, like he is. He's too good. He plays at a great pace. That floater, I mean, when you need a bucket, that's just such a lethal and an unguardable shot that, I mean, he's just, I really think any contending team would love to have him.
Isaac brought up the Thunder for him. I know you're a big Thunder guy.
Yeah, that could make sense. My only like pushback against that is like the Thunder is like they needed someone who can shoot. Like if they're making a trade, that guy has to be able to shoot threes.
That's the hold up with Naji, I think, for a contending team.
Right, but I think there's
do we want to give up a first round pick, or is he that valuable to us if he doesn't hit threes like that? I think that's the difference to me.
Yeah, I think we've seen teams can survive maybe one of these guys, especially if they have something else. Like it's one thing to be an offensive black hole entirely versus like how Maxey could turn into sometimes during playoff games. Whereas like there's no point in guarding him.
And Caleb Martin now.
Actually, Maxey might have been the good example because he always turned up in the playoffs pretty much every time.
That's true. He would miss all of his threes in the regular season. In the playoffs, you go, did he just make 7?
Yes, that would literally be Maxey. Yeah, Caleb Martin's a good one where teams are just like, yeah, like you can drive and make pretty well, but like we don't care about your scoring ability at all. Or at least Naji has that. If you give me a runway, I'll get to my spot and hit a floater.
Yeah, and he can manufacture those buckets too, which is huge. You saw him working like the dribble drive game here and there in that second half where it was just him, no screens or anything at times.
Almost every Knicks person I follow is like infatuated with the idea of having Naji Marshall.
Of getting Naji?
Yeah, every single one of them.
What do they even have?
I don't know because what's Naji? The mid-level, so he's what, 12 million?
No, he's like 9.
Oh, really? 9? Okay, yeah, then they could get there probably. I mean, I'm sure it'd be like Yabusele's contract and something else.
Are you excited about trading Naji, or you just think that they have to do it at some point because of how good he's been?
I think they need to engage the market on every single one of these guys. Like, I get maybe if your stance is like, we don't have to trade and we're not even like that motivated to do it or whatever, but a season like this, which is, you're not going anywhere. You do have you're not even really that old outside of Klay, but like you've got good role guys that I think every contender in the league would give you a call about if you made them available. So you at least owe it to yourself.
The Miles McBride, Gershon Yabusele contracts, 5.5 and 4.3.
No.
For you, I don't think the Knicks would trade.
No. The Knicks would not do that.
They wouldn't trade Deuce for him.
Yeah, no. I guess maybe that makes it a little bit more difficult then.
I mean, you can parse together. You could do Yabu's is 5.5 plus, I don't know, Shamit's 2.2 plus you get one more. A couple of their rookies whose names I don't know how to pronounce.
Dede?
They've got a couple down there. Coming up, let's talk about Klay Thompson. He had a great game. I also want to talk about D'Angelo Russell. I want to talk about Ryan Nembhard. I want to talk about some of these guys that didn't get into the game or did get into the game in different ways. We'll talk about that and more coming up.
I carry a lot of responsibility in my household. If something happened to me, there would be serious consequences. We have a mortgage, we got tuition, we got everyday bills. Those aren't going anywhere if something happens to me. And I know that's an overwhelming feeling, but I'm taking steps to protect my family by getting life insurance through Ethos. Ethos makes getting life insurance fast, easy, and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. There's no medical exam. You just answer a few simple health questions. You can get up to $3 million in coverage. Some policies are as low as $30 a month. And as of March 2025, Business Insider named Ethos the #1 no medical exam instant life insurance provider. Ethos has 4.8 out of 5 stars on Trustpilot with over 3,000 reviews. Protect your family with life insurance from Ethos now by going to ethos.com/LocdownNBA. In as little as 10 minutes, you can get your free quote and up to $3 million in coverage at ethos.com/LocdownNBA. That's ethos.com/LocdownNBA. Ethos.com/LocdownNBA. Application times and rates may vary.
Shut it down! Let's go home!
All right, Slightly, we're talking about the Mavs win against the Brooklyn Nets. Talked about Cooper Flagg. Talked about Naji Marshall. Let's get into some of these other guys we saw in this game. We saw Max Christie struggle, but took 8 threes. He's been much more aggressive, and that's the thing that we've really been wanting from him. 10 points, 5 boards, 2 assists. Only 1 of 8 from 3, but the fact that he's taking more threes, you encouraged by?
Yeah, I mean, just missed some threes that were great looks. Just they didn't go in tonight. I mean, that's just really it.
Fine with it.
Yeah, of course. The more threes, the better.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
I'll take that for sure.
Is there anything, too, is it just a personnel thing or just like, obviously AD's going to have the ball so much and he's not a three-point shooter, but they've been getting up threes these last 2 games.
Well, you put Hardy in, so you play Hardy. He gets 10 up.
Shout out to Jaden, man. He came out tonight and was like, yep.
I am going to take all the threes. 8 points in the first, 2.5 minutes?
Yep.
And then finish with 14.
Incredible, man. Awesome.
He knows his game, man. He knows his game. He's going out there. You also had Klay. Klay got up 9.
Love it. Just 3 for Coop, man.
Honestly, between Klay, Hardy, and Max, you got up, 27 of the 34? It's a lot.
That's crazy. That is a huge chunk.
It's basically all of them.
Yeah.
Flagg got up 3. Nemhard got up 2. Miles got up 1, of course. Najee got up 1.
But just love for that Flagg number to be just around like 5. If we could just be, if after every game, if it's just like, hey, you get spankings if you don't shoot 5 threes. Like, obviously, you can't do that in 2026.
It's probably not that far removed from spankings.
Yeah, true.
I keep walking by this billboard. There's a billboard outside the American Airlines Center with Flagg holding up a Chime card, like a Chime banking app card, and you're just like, he was not old enough to apply for one of those. Like, not that long ago. Like, maybe like 12 months ago, 18 months ago.
Man, I don't know about that. If you're 19 years old, please do your research before opening up some bank account.
It's like I don't know. I can't say it. I feel like Chime has snipers in this building. They have the jersey sponsor. They got billboards everywhere. They got all kinds of stuff.
I was just taken aback by the video ad that just came. I've never seen someone else like another plug in here.
Yeah, we're starting to do those. They're paying for them.
I was like, who's this? So that was a sneak special guest.
It's our guy John Corrales, Locked On Celtics.
No, I knew that at first, but then after I just heard someone else's voice. I was like, what?
The object permanence of Slightly. He's like, not Nick, not
new voice,
new voice. Not used to this. All right, I want to talk about D'Angelo Russell. In a game like this, you have 8 healthy rostered players. You already have a point guard problem. Brandon Williams is out. Ryan Nembhard is coming off the bench. D'Angelo Russell can't get a single minute in this game. Jason Kidd is so out on him. It's not even funny. How is he this out? The Mavs also have a shooting problem. We just talked about how the Mavs need to get more threes. D'Angelo Russell at least does that. I'm not even arguing 4 minutes for D'Angelo Russell. I just want to keep bringing up how insane it is that he's not getting any time at all on this team.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't, and to be fair, nobody was good in that game against the Bulls a couple nights ago. But I didn't think he was good in that game, and that was his first run in forever.
Because Frank Vogel was the acting head coach at the time.
No, see,
he didn't play in this game.
No, I know. But I'm saying I feel like there's a game plan going into the game, and it's just like, hey, D'Lo's going to get some burn tonight. And then
I don't believe that at all. I think that Kid
really?
is
so
just. I think Kid is just out on him.
Vogel looked at D'Lo and was like, okay, here we go.
This is your time, buddy. Here we go.
Which would imply that Vogel is a D'Lo supporter.
He probably coached him in L.A., right?
It was kind of funny that like Jason Kidd got ejected. The D'Lo within 30 seconds.
Literally walked up to the scores table. And
no, I mean,
hashtag noticing. I was noticing.
If D'Lo is on this roster in a month, that'd be hilarious. Because I don't know what.
Can't imagine.
But I can't imagine what his market is really. I mean, you'd have to have some like very desperate guard needy team. Like if Minnesota exhausts every single one of their options. And even then, it's like Bones Highland's better than D'Angelo Russell. So
I don't think he did play under Frank Vogel in LA. Looking
really?
Through it. Nope. No, Frank Vogel's only the head coach for 3 years.
Yeah, I think he was in Minnesota and then
Brooklyn. Then he came.
Golden
But he came
State.
back to LA. But I think when he came
he's
back
gone
to
at that
LA,
point.
I think Vogel was gone. Wasn't it?
I think it was Darvin.
Ham?
Yeah.
Are the Lakers fans asking for Darvin Ham back? As soon as we get to that point. As soon as we get to that point, then we'll know it's gone. It's gone too far.
I'm just tossing this out as of the time we're recording this. The Kings are up 84-69 on the Lakers. Pop some popcorn, guys. Pop some popcorns if that score holds, and head over to Twitter because it is chaos and mayhem every time the Lakers lose.
I feel bad for Luka, man.
No, they're doing him disgusting, and it's funny because we used to get picked apart, you and I, and it's like we would say you guys have no clue. Like there used to be people who would tell me like, man, there's no other fan base that would treat Luke like this.
Yeah,
I was like,
correct.
Are you out of your mind? Are you
serious?
Your mind?
Have you met any of the? Have you met the Knicks? Have you met Lakers fans? Have you met Warriors
have you
fans?
started watching basketball?
Do you remember Suns fans?
Like, they might have started watching basketball 6 years ago when Luka came in the league at the time, right?
Hey, we welcome all of them. Some of them are still listening to this show. And I think
yeah, of course.
Flagg goes down with an injury in what the third quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah, he rolls his ankle on like a weird. He was defending and he kind of tripped on somebody's ankle, and then he comes back in with like a minute left in that quarter. Between the 4 minutes that he was checked out, your thoughts were what?
My thoughts were, well, that's the last Mavs game of the season for me.
Slightly was going to quit Locked On. He's going to quit. You'd never talk about the Mavs on Haymaker ever again.
You think we could get you think I could squeeze it into the post-game Thunder shows?
Hey, I bet Ryland would welcome you with open arms over there.
No,
yeah, I was nervous. I thought for sure they were going to shut him down for the game, but it ended up not being that big of a deal. He came back. He literally checked back into the game, which is a good sign.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, me as the ankle expert, like,
it's not even joking.
No, I'm not. Anytime you twist your ankle, turn your ankle, it does feel in that moment. And for me, it was catastrophic. But it does feel in that moment like, oh my God, I just tore every ligament and broke every bone of my ankle. And then once you walk it off a little bit, it's like, okay, I think I'll be all right.
Yeah, he kind of hop limped to the locker room pretty much immediately.
Up a little bit. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe Wednesday's a rest game for him. I mean, he's only missed one game this year.
And they stay home so they don't travel, which is positive. They're home for the Nuggets, home for the Jazz back-to-back, so that one's an interesting one.
I'm willing to bet he misses one of those, would be a guess of mine.
And then home for – these are actually not too difficult of games because Jokic is still going to be out, right?
Well, dude, they're kind of
They've had some good wins. Yeah, they've had some good wins.
Was player of the week.
Insane. But
they're 3-1 in their last 4.
What's the point of player of the week?
I mean, he has been good. They just do it by record-wise, though.
All right. Anything else you thought?
I actually thought, Cisse, Dwight was kind of limping around out there.
Yeah, but Dwight was getting on the floor. Dwight had 10 boards. He had 2 offensive rebounds. I bet he had more Tyson tip-outs than that. Mm-hmm. He had 3 assists. He was what? He's 33, 34. He's the first one on the ground every time.
I
thought that energy was awesome for the Mavs tonight.
That was like one of my takeaways was it's like in my brain, Dwight Powell's just 27 years old.
I know.
And he's just never, and then tonight with some of the way he was limping and stuff, it's like, oh, that looks like an old man injury, man. Like,
well, and he only ever plays like 10 minutes, 5 minutes at a time. So you get to see this burst of athleticism. But this time, 35 minutes because Cisse got into foul trouble.
35 is crazy for Dwight Powell at this point. But no, I was going to say, I think both those guys played pretty good.
Did you see my tweet of how many times in Mavs history Hardy and Powell have started together?
Oh. I bet a couple years ago. Well, no, because Hardy's rookie year, probably a decent amount.
At the end of that season that went a disaster, 2023.
Yeah, that was Hardy's rookie year, wasn't it?
And do you think it's
It was Christian
under
Wood.
over under 10.5?
I'm gonna guess under.
7. This is 7. And they are 3-4 in those games. The Mavs are across many different eras, many different iterations.
Very different eras.
I think they're the two longest tenured Mavs, right? Because Hardy was there before Kyrie.
Well, yeah, I mean, Dwight for sure, obviously. And then
Insane. Those two.
Yeah, Hardy is the second most tenured Mav, right? Has to be.
That's crazy. All right, go check out Slightly Biased. Great
hilarious.
YouTube channel. Stuff happening all the time over there and on Haymaker. Go check out the links in the description for different ways to follow the show, including the Everydayers Club and the text line. Guys, thanks so much for listening to Locked on Mavs. Peace out. Boom.
I'm just imagining a very real world where Dwight Powell retires and Jaden Hardy's the longest tenured Maverick.